Pain is really personal. It's not typical. An experience of pain is a normal alert to what your brain thinks is a threat or a danger, though. The amount of that pain or the size of the alert does not necessarily correspond to how much damage is actually physically happening to the tissues. For instance, have you ever been involved in a project and then discovered a smudge of blood and wondered where that came from, only to discover it was you? You'd cut yourself and you didn't even feel it. On a larger scale, it's not uncommon for amputees to have phantom limb pain, where the limb's not even there anymore, but they are still getting signals that certainly don't relate to any physical damage, but they still feel the pain. Our experience of pain can be amplified by our emotions or the context around when it happens. Our pain can be squelched if we have experience with it and memory is applied. Pain is really valuable. It's rare, but there are children who are born without the ability to feel pain. They can experience touch, but not pain. They tend to be injured quite a bit, and their parents are terrified for them because they don't have the good sense to be fearful, which is something that pain teaches us early on. So you have these pain sensors throughout your entire body, but the information they send to your brain, it's not just a straight shot. It's a multi-step pathway that goes, say, perhaps fingertips first to the spine. There's a handoff. It goes up to your brain, and there are multiple loops backtracking and adding information along the way, and that makes the experience of pain really multidimensional, and it can be hard to describe because it's very complex. But if one of those messages does make it all the way through that chain, your brain then evaluates the level of danger and decides what actions, what systems to put in place to avoid danger. Your danger receptors get more sensitive when you do have some damage and there's a normal inflammatory response. We've all seen this happen. And that inflammation is really vital in the short term. It triggers other elements for healing that are important, and all tissues can heal. It just happens at different rates depending on how much blood supply and therefore how much nutrient is coming in and how quickly garbage is being taken out. But when you have a situation where pain persists in the long term, then the whole danger alarm system becomes hypersensitized. Practice makes perfect. You get a snowball effect. And then, like we said, maybe worry or despair about this long-term pain may actually feed into that snowball. And there is a point where the danger receptors out in the body are no longer sending the brain the pain message, but the brain is going it alone. It's been playing this tune over and over like a broken record, and now it's just stuck. Now, the good news is that in the same way that the brain learned to find its way to this position by practice, you can practice to walk your brain back out of it again. And the first step is understanding that pain is not the same thing as damage. Two separate things with a relationship, but separate nonetheless.